everyone, my name is Hideous Tuber and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are back with the 100 Baby Challenge episode 5. Since the last time we have filmed, we have since had the infant update. So now we have a new stage in the household. Now, I don't know what exactly that means for the 100 Baby Challenge. From what I have gathered and what I'm going off at the moment is it is pretty much the same as babies. You just gotta wait for their birthdays, where you can then age them up naturally like that. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing until there are a new set of rules that come out, in which I will then go by them for the rest of the challenge. So as of right now, we currently have our 2 eldest, which are now children, the next 2 which are still in their toddler stage, and then another 2 which are in baby form. And I do believe we have another child on the way, which is also very exciting. So once that baby is born, we will then be at max capacity for the household, so we won't be able to have any more children or add any more to the household until we age up the eldest 2 or even eldest 3, depending on how fast we can get through all the situation regarding the toddlers and children and so forth. So till then, we will be just having a full 7 children household with 1 matriarch. You know, something that I've realized very early on is that with the new infant update, when we change nappies and stuff now, you just throw the diapers on the floor. And it took me a while to realize that you had to have a special bin to put all of the old nappies in. And so there was just a fair few nappies on the floor until I realized that you've got to have a special bin and you end up having to throw them all in there, and then you leave all the bottles on the floor. This gets very chaotic very fast. Alright, so at this point we have reached the baby's birthday, so these 2 twins are going to be the first 2 that we experience going through the infant stage, which of course the infant update so happens to come out the week that I end up having twins in this game, and so we are having to experience the hard way what it's like to have infants. I might try and do a mini series or something going through having at least 1 infant maybe later on in the next couple of weeks, so that we can go and experience try and get into the nitty-gritty of having 1 infant, whereas here, because we are rushing through and have 4 other kids with the 5th one on the way, I feel like this is going to be too difficult to try and get into the nitty-gritty on trying to sort out how exactly infants work. So we might do a mini-series later on to try and explore infants a little bit more. Alrighty, at this point, I decided, since I had a few thousand extra simoleons in the bank, that we kind of needed an extra bathroom, because between having 2 infants, 2 toddlers and 2 children, that having 1 bathroom really isn't going to work. So we decided to have an ensuite bathroom right outside the mother's bedroom, so that way she can potentially look after the 4 youngest children while the eldest 2 have their own bathroom. and that way when the oldest two need to go, they are free to just go in and they are okay, and then the mother can worry about the youngest in a separate bathroom. And then since we've also aged up the children, the babies until infants, they need a separate cot, which honestly surprised me a little bit because I thought they would have just had the same bed, but because they're a little bit bigger, they needed a separate bed. So we separated the infants into a separate room. Honestly, at this point, we might have like 2 separate kids' rooms. So we may have like the youngest group go into one room, and then all the older babies go into a separate room. That way they aren't clashing, and that way when the infants and babies are crying, they aren't necessarily waking the younger children up that may be considered light sleepers at this point. So we managed to go through most of our simoleons, creating those 2 rooms and environments. So we probably need to start repainting stuff soon so that we can get more simoleons. Alright, I think the next like day or evening or so is probably the hardest night for the matriarch individually, because honestly, the moment she goes to sleep, either an infant starts crying, or a toddler wakes up from a nightmare, or something happens. And so I think at some point she starts passing out and like has to try and sort out, and like at this point I'm trying to work out how infants are working at this point. So I'm here trying to work out how to kind of make the issue a little bit better, but also trying to help the situation. Alright, so during the next few minutes is probably a montage of like 16 to like 20 minutes worth of footage of me having to try and get the matriarch up and down, because like she's on the verge of passing out so much, but something is always wrong with the children. And honestly, it takes me a while to somewhat work out how to look after the infants a little bit, because like something always ends up happening, and then then they need attention, and then it just like is like an endless circle. Like she doesn't get a break. And to be fair, I am pretty much neglecting the older 4 children because of these 2 infants that are pretty much constantly needing something throughout this entire experience.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, and I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? enough, I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay.
Alright, so where the montage ends is pretty much when she goes into labor with her, what is it now? 2, 4, 6, 7th child and 8th member of the household. So after this, it's pretty much a waiting game for a few of them to move out. But for her, I reckon this is probably a big silver lining, because like all of her, like her sleep is down, her hunger's down, she's not having fun. And like when you go to the hospital to have your child, at one point before she goes into labor, all of the skills go back up to max, which honestly is probably a really good thing at this point. So honestly, it's probably the happiest she could have gotten from all this.
Bula Shaka Harpasa. Zoe.
Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 5. Alright, so at this point, Dakota had reached level 3 in every single one of her skills, and so it was time for her to age up into a child. I do believe the child before that, I believe they were almost ready to be aged up. They're probably not too far off, so they're probably like a couple of minutes behind. So once we get that into level 3 and all of their skills, they will be aged up, ready to become a child as well. So they will be, now there will be 4 children, 2 infants and a baby. All of the children will be put into one room. The infants and baby will be put into another till further notice. Also, something else to point out, especially when reorganizing the bedroom, is that as of right now, we don't have a lot of simoleons to our name, and so at the moment we only really had the money for one bed, and it wasn't even a bunk bed, it was the cheapest bed we could get, and so we basically have to find another way of earning some form of money to be able to get the other child's bed until we can afford to, well, we'll have to basically make a whole bunch more paintings once the matriarch can get a free moment of her time, which is going to be relatively soon, because hopefully in the next couple of days the children will age up into teenagers, and then basically they can take on a lot of the responsibility of looking after the younger kids while the mother can go and make some form of money. Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 5.
Here's a random number, 4.
Alright, so at this point, Dakota had reached level 3 in every single one of her skills, and so it was time for her to age up into a child. I do believe the child before that, I believe they were almost ready to be aged up. They're probably not too far off, so they're probably like a couple of minutes behind. So once we get that sim to level 3 and all of their skills, they will be aged up ready to become a child as well. So they will be, so that now there will be 4 children, 2 infants and a baby. All of the children will be put into one room. The infants and baby will be put into another till further notice. Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 14.
Here's a random number, 13.
Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Alrighty, so as of right now, we have just aged up Alex. The second child is also ready to be aged up. However, they both had to go to the drama club, which started at 3:30. So basically, we now have to wait till that is finished to age up the second child and get him into a teenage form. Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 14.
9.
Hey Google, pick a number between 1 and 2.
2.
Alrighty, this is where we're going to wrap up this episode of the Sims 4 100 Baby Challenge. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you guys did, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We should be back next week with another episode. But until next time, I'll see everyone later. Goodbye.